Hey everybody, this is Peter with BibleMoneyMatters.com talking today about doing a 401k rollover to a traditional IRA, and talking about a little bit about what you want to do with your retirement account if and when you leave your current job. So when you're leaving a job, it can be tough to even think about rolling over your 401k because you're focusing on so many other things. You're thinking about getting into a new job, trying to find a new job if you need to. But even if you found a new job, you're thinking about all of the responsibilities that are going along with that job, what you need to do, and so forth. So usually the last thing you're going to want to think about is doing a 401k rollover, but it is something that's pretty important to do for a variety of reasons. So first of all, let's talk about what your options are when you do when you leave a job. What can you do with your 401k? First of all, you can just leave it in the current plan where it is. A lot of people do this. They just leave the account as it is, leave it with the current mutual fund company or insurance company or wherever it's residing, and they'll just leave it there and leave it there for years. The problem with doing that in a lot of instances is that a lot of company 401ks really aren't that great as far as the fees that they charge. They'll have annual fees, they'll have high fees on the mutual funds that are available, and a lot of times they just don't have a lot of investments available in the funds or in the 401k for you to choose from. So it's probably not the most optimal solution. Another thing you can do is you can cash out your 401k. Again, this is not a great solution to the problem for a variety of reasons, but the biggest reason it's not a good idea is because you're going to have a 10% penalty on an early withdrawal from your 401k, along with your combined federal and state tax rates. So assuming you have a 35% combined tax rate on the money, add on a 10% penalty, that's 45% of your money right off the top, leaving only 55% of your money intact. So if you have $100,000 in there, after all your penalties and taxes, you're going to have $55,000 left that you've taken out. That's not probably the best idea. It's a huge penalty to pay. Another option is to roll it over into an IRA. Rolling over your 401k into an IRA at an external brokerage or mutual fund company like Vanguard is probably the best option, I think. It'll allow you to have access to more and better funds, and a lot of those funds are going to have lower costs and more control for you as the investor. That's always a good thing. Another thing you can do, if you find a new job quick enough and that new job has a 401k that you can get the money into, you can just roll your money right over into your new 401k. Again, that may not be something you want to do, especially if the 401k at your new company is not the best. In other words, it doesn't have great options as far as what funds to invest in, and the fees, and it has annual fees, high fees on the funds. Something to consider. For me, I think probably the best option is to roll it over into a traditional IRA with a mutual fund company like Vanguard, something along those lines. Just because you're going to have more options as far as funds to choose from, you're going to have lower fees, lower costs. And over time, those fees and costs take a lot of money off the top of your returns. So my suggestion, move it into a traditional IRA with a company like Vanguard. So how do you roll over that 401k to an IRA? First of all, you just open a retirement account, an IRA, with a mutual fund company like Vanguard, like I've said already, or with a brokerage like Trade King or ShareBuilder or something along those lines. Contact your old 401k provider, get any forms that you need to get the transfer going. Contact your new IRA provider that you've just set up and verify the account setup, everything that you need to do the transfer. Finally, fill out the forms from your old 401k company. Verify a direct rollover of funds. It's pretty important. Make sure it's a direct rollover and that they don't send you a check or something like that. Do a direct rollover from the old account into the new account, and there aren't going to be any fees or any charges, no problem. It's going to be just an easy transfer of funds. Now, if the company does send you a check made out to you, don't panic because it could be a bad situation where you're going to have to pay penalties and fees if you don't do it right. That's called an indirect rollover. And what's going to happen if they send you a check like that, they're going to withhold 20% of the total amount for taxes right off the top. You're then required to deposit the total amount of the balance. In other words, you have to add 20% to the check that they gave you and put it into your new account at the IRA company. So let's say they cut you a check for $80,000 from your $100,000 401k. You have to put another $20,000 in there, send it to the new company. Otherwise, you'll be paying a penalty, 10% penalty for early withdrawal on that money. So be careful about that. Make sure that they're doing a direct rollover, not an indirect rollover. Otherwise, you're going to have kind of a headache there. Head over to the post for a better explanation of that. I know I kind of jumbled over that a little bit. So in conclusion, doing a 401k to IRA rollover really doesn't have to be that difficult. You just need to get the forms from your old company, open a new IRA, get all the information from both companies, fill out the forms, send it in, make sure they do a direct rollover of the funds, and you won't have to worry about any penalties or fees or taxes or anything like that. So my suggestion, get an IRA with a company like Vanguard and do a direct rollover. Good luck.